Have you ever found yourself staring at your phone, wondering why she hasn't called or texted back? You replay conversations, overanalyze every emoji, and ask yourself, did I do something wrong? Or maybe you're trying to reconnect with an ex, hoping she'll realize what she lost and come running back. Perhaps you're in a relationship, but you sense the spark fading, and you're desperate to reignite the fire before it dies out completely. Here's the truth most men never hear. Making a woman miss you isn't about being extra nice, constantly texting her, or buying gifts. It's about becoming unforgettable, someone who lingers in her mind even when you're not around. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 powerful psychology-backed strategies to make her miss you deeply, desperately, even if she's pulled away or seems uninterested right now. And the best part? You don't need to manipulate, beg, or chase. You just need to understand how attraction really works. Let's dive in. Part 1. Understand her emotional craving. First, let's get one thing straight. Women don't just want to feel good. That's a myth. What they really crave is an emotional journey, a roller coaster, an experience. Ever wonder why women binge watch dramatic TV series with emotional highs and lows? Because those ups and downs stimulate them, keep them hooked. Constant happiness becomes boring. A woman who only feels one emotion around you, no matter how positive, will eventually lose interest. That's why the key is to create emotional variety. Laughter, mystery, a little tension, even a moment of vulnerability. These are the moments that stick in her memory. These are the experiences she rewinds in her mind late at night. That's how you make her miss you, by giving her emotional depth, not just constant comfort. 2. Don't be her backup plan. Let's debunk one of the biggest misconceptions out there. Being available all the time will make her miss you. Wrong. If you're constantly texting her, checking in, saying, "Hey, how are you?" every other day, you're not making her think about you. You're making yourself predictable, forgettable, and worse, replaceable. You're slowly assigning yourself the role of the nice guy she knows will always be there if nothing else works out. That's not the role you want. Being a fallback means she doesn't fear losing you, and without that fear, there's no urgency. You become the emotional equivalent of a safety net, not a man she longs for, not a man she dreams about. Start reclaiming your power by creating some space. Stop being the first to reach out. Let her come to you sometimes. You're not her therapist, her assistant, or her emotional cushion. You're the prize. Act like it. 3. Plant emotional time capsules. Now, we shift into something powerful. Preemptive strategy. What if I told you the best time to make her miss you is before she even realizes she might? This is where emotional time capsules come in. These are small, intentional moments you create while you're together that will explode in her mind later when you're no longer around. One of the simplest tools? Scent. Science shows that smell is strongly tied to memory. That's why I always recommend having a signature cologne, something distinct, subtle, and memorable. If she catches a whiff of that same scent somewhere else, it'll immediately transport her back to a memory with you. She might be walking past a stranger, but her heart skips a beat because her brain has connected that smell to you. Another tool, inside jokes and shared secrets. Create a little world that only the two of you understand. Maybe it's a nickname you gave her, a place you both joked about visiting, a song that played during a spontaneous moment. These aren't just memories, they're emotional landmines, and when she stumbles upon one, boom, you're back in her thoughts. Hash 4, always leave on a high note. Here's a tactic most guys overlook. End every interaction at its peak. Whether it's a date, a phone call, or even just a text conversation, exit when the energy is still high. Why? Because it leaves her wanting more. Think of it like watching a TV episode that ends on a cliffhanger. What do? You crave the next one. You can't stop thinking about it. That's what you want her to feel about you. Most guys make the mistake of overstaying. They keep texting. They keep hanging around. They drag out the moment until it fades from exciting to mundane, or worse, awkward. And when you do that, you go from being an exciting escape to just another predictable part of her day. Instead, set a mental timer. If you're texting and it's going well, cut it off. Say something fun and leave. If you're on a date, end it before the energy dips. Leave her smiling, thinking, "I want to see him again." It's not about playing games. It's about creating desire. Leave when she's still emotionally stimulated. That's when the longing begins. 5. Mystery and subtle jealousy. This next one's tricky and powerful. Use mystery and subtle jealousy. But here's the warning. Don't be obvious. Don't tell her you're going on dates with other women. Don't post pictures with girls in bikinis. That's not confidence. That's desperation wearing sunglasses. Real jealousy is born from uncertainty. Let's say you post a picture of a drink and an extra glass beside it. No context. Or you say you had a great weekend skiing with a friend and leave it at that. Suddenly her mind starts spinning. Was it a girl? Is he dating someone? Who was he with? And just like that, you're in her thoughts. Mystery works because it invites her imagination to do the work, and her imagination will always be more powerful than anything you could spell out. When she can't figure you out, she starts chasing clarity. She starts chasing you. 6. Introduce competition. If she thinks she has you wrapped around her finger, she won't value you. Period. You have to make her feel like your attention is something she has to earn. And the easiest way to do that is to show that other people and things are competing for it. No, I don't mean flirt with other girls in front of her. That's immature. Instead, invest in your life. Find new passions, travel, learn something new, hit the gym, start a business, build a hobby into a lifestyle. The message this sends? You're growing, evolving, thriving, without her. She thought you'd be sitting at home, stuck in the same routine, maybe even sulking. But you've become more attractive, not because of her absence, but because of what you've done with it. When she sees that spark in you, she starts to feel the pull. She begins to wonder, did I make a mistake? And that's when the desire comes back, not because you chased her, but because you leveled up. 7. Embrace scarcity. Here's a hard truth. The more available you are, the less valuable you become. It's basic economics, supply and demand. If she can have you whenever she wants, what's the thrill? Where's the excitement? You don't need to play cold or ignore her, but you do need to show that your time isn't unlimited. Don't always answer right away. Don't always say yes. Take weekends for yourself. Let her wonder what you're up to. When you're around less, each interaction becomes more meaningful. She starts to crave your presence, not take it for granted. Scarcity creates value. And in relationships, value is everything. 8. Become the prize. All of this comes down to one simple truth. You are the prize. When you stop chasing, when you build a fulfilling life, when you create emotional depth, she'll feel it. And when you make her miss you, it's not about playing tricks or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about becoming the kind of man she doesn't want to lose. Because you're not just a memory, you're a feeling. You're that moment she replays in her mind, wondering if she'll ever feel that spark again. Closing thought. You don't need to manipulate her emotions to make her miss you. You need to ignite them, to awaken something she forgot she needed. Be the guy who makes her feel alive. Be the guy who doesn't chase, but instead walks with purpose, knowing that his presence is a privilege, not a guarantee. So ask yourself, the next time she thinks about you, what will she feel? Will it be indifference? Or will her heart race a little faster? The choice is yours. Make yourself unforgettable and watch what happens next.